the way I'm thinking of shooting it is like we're not showing any of like this, like it's just like we're like looking at this side, and like the tubes will be on that wall.
I think it'd be better to have the forklift over there, and we could maybe put like the ladder or something in frame here. Like it'll look too flat there. Like this way we have a bit of depth, you know what I mean? That's just kind of what I'm thinking.
Hello team. So what you just saw was an ad directed by my friend Josh Turner that we dropped a while ago. I put a different song over it though, so the original has proper like sound design and everything like that. Just wanted to switch it up. Anyway, I wanted to make a quick video going over how we lit one of the scenes for it, which is the warehouse scene. That's what we're doing. So to start off the look, we had a Godox VL200, which is a daylight COB light. It's pretty similar to the Aperture 300D. We had that going on outside of one of these little slits you could see in the door. Basically, that can just beam right in through that. Maybe it's not the most like practical thing really, but you know, if you want to think about it, could be some sort of street light out there, or it just looks cool, man. It looks cool, let's be honest. We set up 2 Nanlite Pavotube 30Cs taped up on the wall here. To be honest, I would try and always figure out a different way than just gaff taping tubes to the wall, because as you can see, they fell a couple times, and we had to keep putting them back up. I also would suggest, if you can, to get the newer model of Nanlite Pavotubes if you're in the market, because these ones you can't connect to an app, unfortunately. And oh man, I lost the remote for them while we were shooting this, and so I couldn't change their settings without untaping them. So the amount of times we untaped and retaped them, I don't want to talk about it. So those are obviously at more of like this blue color, and I wanted it to have that pretty like blue teal like sci-fi look to it. And that's another reason we just decided to have the tubes just practically in the shot, because I think it's looks cool for like a warehouse scene, and it adds that whole sci-fi vibe and like electric, modern, futuristic. And then other than that, we did a big wet down on the floor where we basically just had to keep refilling up a bucket, pouring water all over the floor, mop it all around so that it spreads out kind of evenly. There's actually like a drain there, so it kept like drying out. The water kept going down this like drain slowly. So we just had to like keep, just pouring water over and over again. Kind of annoying, but adds such a higher level of production value, and everything is reflecting. The lights are reflecting super cool off it. Just anything you can do to add a little bit more depth to the image basically just makes the room look bigger, because now you have that full reflection. And then naturally, we smoked up the room a bit. We just have pretty crappy like smoke machines you could get for like a party, and then you just have to be like waving the smoke around so that it dissipates into this nice like haze, so that you don't really see it until a light is piercing through it, and that's how you get this look, the light shining through that little window there.
You broke your hand on one of these before?
Went to like the hospital and everything. On a bird scooter going at like 22 kilometers an hour, flew off it. It goes 3 times as fast. It goes at 60, right? We're going gear 1 for now, but usually I wear a helmet when I ride these. Yo, this is fast. I'm scared to go on gear 2.
Then the only other light we had set up was a really small Godox 60 watt light, I believe. It was bicolor, and I think we just had it at daylight, I believe. But that was like almost overhead. It was like a little bit to camera right in this wide shot, and like a little bit above, just so that we're not totally losing all those details in the Apollo logo, and he's can stand out from the background a bit more. That was with a little miniature softbox and a grid on it.
We're working on some tight close-ups right now. We got Owen doing a little bit of camera up. We got the floor all wet. Get that reflection. And lens change. Bring ladder in. Bird's eye shot. And then we'll redo that screen one, shoot the angle a bit,
Yeah.
and then tripod.
Then the only thing I really changed was in this close-up look. We just added in, I think I just had Josh hand bombing another tube light just closer to Asher's face here, just to get a bit more level and a bit more wrap on his face. And I love how this shot came out. And then this last one, he's driving out of the warehouse. Obviously the light, this was just the light that was on the scooter. And yeah, mixed with the haze, it's just creating that crazy beam and goes right past the camera, which looks so sick. Like you saw in those clips of us talking, we were discussing about putting some different objects in the foreground, like the forklift and like a ladder and stuff. Might not make like total sense, but I mean it is a warehouse, so it kind of makes sense. But that mixed with our lighting here creates really cool leading lines and textures, just to add more elements to the image. Things I could have maybe done differently, figuring out a better way to rig up the tubes, like I said, and also, I mean, if you look closely, there's kind of these big bits of black tape on the sides of them, kind of clearly. Maybe also having one other light outside so that we can kind of fill out, well, it's hard to say, like I'd like to kind of fill out the other two slits, like the little windows on the door, because it kind of looks like very directional when it's like obviously just coming through that one. It's like right outside the door. But at the same time, it is kind of cool how it's creating that spotlight effect on the scooter. Yeah, hopefully this helped you guys out a little bit. Had a few people ask for a little lighting breakdown on this one, so yeah, hopefully this answered all your questions. If you have any more, let me know in the comments below.
Read this label. What does this label say?
Water.
Not water. I mean, you probably wouldn't die, but it wouldn't taste good. Nah, it's like glycerin.
The one with the orange.
What the fuck? Holy shit! Right to the left.
Bro, juice side up is
Imagine.
I think that was a gas outro.